Hello everyone, my name is Thor and welcome back to Anthropology. Welcome to today's video. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for clicking on it. If you're new to this channel, if you've never seen my face before, hi, my name is Thor. On this channel, I talk all about things fashion related, mindful consumption, tattoos, ragdolls, everything under the sun in my life. So if that sounds like something you're interested in and you're not already subscribed, please do so now. Like this video and comment anything down below. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so happy to have you. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. So today we're going to be talking about tattoos. If you are new to the channel, you've never seen me before, I currently have 13 tattoos. I've done one tattoo tour video, which I will link below and in the card section here, so you can see that if you want a detailed view of 11 of my tattoos. But in today's video, we're talking about my two newest tattoos, what my advice is for people looking to get potentially their first tattoo, and my tattoo aftercare instructions and experience. So obviously, I just want to put a disclaimer that I'm not a tattoo artist, so follow the aftercare instructions that your artist gives you based on the method that they are asking you to heal your tattoo with, as well as the implications around the certain types of ink and how they interact with different types of healing ointments and creams and stuff like that. So I'm by no means an expert, but since I have healed 13 tattoos successfully, I figured why not bestow potentially some information and advice onto you all. So that's what we're talking about today. Let's get into it. Okay, so a little backstory on my tattoos. I have 13. I've been getting them roughly since I was like 17 years old. And I sort of get them in batches and phases. I get them whenever I want, or when I have like an idea potentially, or there's like a big change in my life, or just like a marker of time. In terms of my new tattoos, I will show them here and I'll put a picture that the artist professionally took here. So I got these tattoos done by Jamie Lauder, MX Lauder on Instagram if you're local to Vancouver. They're a queer tattoo artist based in Vancouver, tattooing out of Gastown. And I got two tattoos at the same time. One is a bust of a man. For those that know Tom of Finland, then you'll understand the reference. But essentially it's just I wanted a sexy man because I wanted something that would be gay in essence, but not overly flamboyant, if you know what I mean. Just like a sexy man with a neck tattoo. And I will just go through a little bit of what he has going on here. So he has 1997 under the eye because that's the year that I was born. I love face tattoos, but not enough to get one myself. Well, not at this current moment, but I figured why not get a face with a face tattoo. And then I also love neck tattoos, and I want some for myself, not at this current time, because I feel like A, that'd be very painful, and B, I'm just not ready for that commitment yet. But I was like, maybe I'll just get a bust with neck tattoos and live vicariously through my own tattooception, if you will. So I got him with a lynx cat because I have two lynx pointed ragdoll cats, so I wanted something to symbolize them, as well as the plumeria flower on either side because I really fell in love with that flower and that motif when my partner and I went to Hawaii in January of this year. And I got a bracelet with that motif. It's sort of like the flower of Hawaii. So I wanted something to sort of tie all that into where I'm at now. And this is not me in a portrait, but it's like symbolic of where I'm at right now in my current life. So that's a bit about him. My partner got me a Tom of Finland book. Tom of Finland is, I'm not sure if he's still alive, a queer illustrator, primarily known for his hyper-masculine images that are sexually explicit in nature. So do not look at that if you're underage or if you're not, interested in that type of work. If you're queer, then you'll probably know. Next, I also got a Habibi tattoo. Habibi means my love or baby in Arabic, referring to a man. So I got this just as a symbolization for my partner. I don't believe in getting your partner's name tattooed or anything like that, but since my partner is Palestinian, I feel like it was a good time for me to get an Arabic tattoo. I love Arabic script. I think it's so pretty. I love how it sounds in music and songs. So I figured I would get a little Habibi tattoo for my love, for my baby, especially since we're getting married in 8 or so months. So that's the backstory of these tattoos. In terms of my advice now for new tattoos, or for if you're getting your first tattoo, what I think you should potentially look out for. 1, really research the artist. Now artists really promote their work on Instagram and social media. So really look at their portfolio of work and see if their style aligns with what you're looking for. There's a lot of different tattoo styles out there: stick and poke, fine line, traditional, Japanese traditional, American traditional, color, black and white. So really make sure your idea is aligned with that artist's style. Because if you have an idea, let's say for a really colorful mermaid, I don't know why that just popped into my head, but say that's your idea, and then you go to an artist that does very traditional American black and white work, you most likely will not get the design that you have envisioned in your head. So it's really important to align the artist's style with what you're looking for, because then it'll be more cohesive and you'll be more likely to be in love with the outcome, because tattoos are permanent on your body. So once you get one, you are stuck with it for better or worse. So it's really important that when you're doing your initial artist selection, the style aligns with what you're looking for. The next piece to look out for is line work. Now, tattoo artists, they come, not all of them are great. So it's really important to look at the line work of the tattoos. Is the line work straight? Is it consistent? Is it clear? You don't want to have an artist that's really scraggly, not good line work, not a steady hand, because that will translate to your tattoo and it will impact the quality of your tattoo. It'll impact probably how you feel about the tattoo. So if the line work is not spot on, do not go to that artist. The next is also price, obviously. Getting a cheaper tattoo does not always indicate a good deal. These things are permanent on your body, so you want to get more or less what you pay for. Artists, because it's more of a creative industry, can really charge whatever they want for the work that they do. I've been quoted thousands of dollars for pieces that other artists would potentially quote me a few hundred for. Now, that's not necessarily to say that those that are charging a few hundred would produce lesser quality than those that are charging thousands. There's a lot of factors that can go into it, but I think go for one that you think is good value, but not necessarily always the cheapest option. Sometimes you get what you pay for, and paying for less, you will get a lesser quality product. And since they're permanent, you don't want that. Price is a factor for sure. Get one that you're most comfortable paying with. In Canada, I feel like I've really been drawn to artists that request between $180 to like $250 per hour of work. I feel like that is a good indicator of someone that knows good value, but also produces good work. There are other artists that charge thousands of dollars per hour. That could just mean that they're very in demand, or either they have a large ego. So really, I would say not necessarily shop around, but it's good if you're getting your first tattoo to really understand what the ranges are for the type of work that these artists are doing. And then the next is, don't be afraid of a flash. I feel like there can be negative implications or negative like stereotypes around flash tattoos, that they're not creative, they're not specific, it's an already designed idea that you're getting on your body. And I have a few flash tattoos. For example, the butterfly, this was a flash tattoo. This head here was a flash tattoo. And actually, I think those are my only flashes. And a flash essentially means it's like an artist has pre-designed a concept, a piece, and it can be immediately tattooed. You can edit a flash, actually this one was technically also a flash. So the artist had done the bust style already, and then you can just customize the flash, as opposed to net new creations, such as my Marie Antoinette, such as my Cleopatra. These ones were net new creations where I went to the artist and I said, I have an idea, and these are my reference photos that I want you to input into the tattoo design. Make sure you have a lot of reference photos if you're doing something net new, to give the artist the best idea of what you want your design to look like and how you want it to translate from the reference photos in your mind to the artist's design. Because sometimes there can be miscommunications where you're like, I want this, but what you have in your mind is not what the artist ends up drawing. So make sure you have a lot of reference photos to really paint a clear picture of what you want your design to look like. if you're doing net new. Also, I guess placement is another big one. When you're getting your first tattoo, I feel like when I was getting my first tattoo, I was like, oh my God, I only have so limited space. Where am I gonna get it? Like, the first placement matters. And my first tattoo was actually this one here. It is a koi fish with the flowers of life symbol. I wanted just the flowers of life because I didn't want regular scales, and I thought the geometric pattern of the flowers of life was very beautiful. And I got it there because I wanted it to be hidden if I wore a long sleeve shirt. Placement does matter because you can't move it once it's there. So really make sure you know what your end goal is for placement. Do you want it to be visible? Do you want it to be somewhere potentially symmetrical? Do you want it to be somewhere potentially hidden? Think about these things, and you can really play around with placement when you get your stencil created. So you can put it here. For like this one, for example, I was trialing here, but I also have an empty space here, so I was putting it there, and I saw which one I liked best. But really make sure you're comfortable expressing to your artist that you want to play around with placement. If you have a strong idea of where you want it to go, then you don't really need to play around with placement. But if you have multiple ideas, make sure you try it in every single place that you're interested in before you commit to it, because once you commit, there's no going back. So those are my tips, I guess. Really do your research when looking at an artist. If there are reviews, read the reviews. Look for line work specifically. You know, make sure that the line work is up to top notch. Ensure that your artist's style aligns with what your end goal style is for your design. If they are mismatched, do not go to that artist. There's so many tattoo artists, you can find one that matches your style. Number 3, ensure that you're comfortable with the placement and also that they give good aftercare. Aftercare is just as important as picking your artist because tattoos are essentially an open wound. Technically, that's what they're classified as. Thus, they need to heal in the skin. And if they heal incorrectly, if your artist does not give you adequate aftercare instructions, that is a red flag. You can ask about that before you get the tattoo done, like what is your aftercare instructions, just to make sure that they are aligned. Now onto my aftercare instructions. So when you get a tattoo, you will need to, depending on how they do it, if they wrap you in saran wrap, that is one way. If they wrap you in a second skin, that's another way as well. So essentially you'll want to keep the tattoo covered and not exposed for at least the first 2 to 3 days. That means if it's a second skin, keeping the skin on, not really touching it, not really trying to get it wet. You want to keep it so everything's more or less stays within itself, like a bandage. Like if you cut yourself and you bandage it, you don't tamper with the bandage. Keep it on for whatever the artist tells you is the specified time for the method that they are healing the tattoo. Then you will want to get an unscented soap. My preferred soap is Dove Sensitive Skin Beauty Bar. This is a moisturizing one as well, and it doesn't leave thick residue on the skin as well. You can also get unscented liquid soaps, depending on what your comfort level is. I've healed all of my tattoos with this and it's been totally fine for me. And what you'll want to do is lightly get the area wet with lukewarm or slightly warm water. Definitely not hot. Hot will hurt like hell. So get light warm water, rub the bar over the skin. Be careful not to go too hard because you don't want to scrub it. It's not one of those things. It's like a very light clean to get rid of the excrement from your skin that's going to be producing like blood or other fluids, as well as excess ink and sometimes Vaseline that you'll want to clean the tattoo of. So it'll come, when you take off the bandage, it'll come off glossy. I always take off my bandages in the shower, and then you'll want to lightly clean it until it looks matte, which means that all of the excess residue and fluids are gone from the tattoo. From there, I use a Aquaphor healing ointment to heal my tattoos. You can use any type of unscented lotion or cream. If you're unsure, check with your tattoo artist. Do not use Vaseline or anything like that because that will block the pores. Essentially, you want the skin to breathe so that it can heal. I've healed all of my tattoos with this, and then for the first 2 weeks, I apply it once in the morning after I wash it and once in the evening after I wash it. And then for the following 2 weeks, I apply it once at night when I wash it, because it takes between 2 to 4 weeks to heal a tattoo. During that time, no baths. You cannot submerge your arm. That will be bad. It can pull the ink from the skin sometimes if it softens the skin too much, and then that will be bad. Also, if you heal it like a wet style, which means more or less often moisturized as opposed to dry, which means flaking, do not peel the tattoo. Your skin is pushing out the ink essentially from the dye, so it dyes your skin with the pigment of whatever ink you get, and then it pushes out the remaining ink once the skin has been successfully dyed. Do not peel the tattoo because it will scab, so do not peel it because that could pull out the ink before it has a chance to dye the skin. From there, apply your moisturizing cream and ensure that once you wash it, you pat it dry with a clean paper towel. Do not use your regular towel for the first 2 weeks at least, because your regular towel can carry bacteria. Since it's an open wound, you want to use net new products. Like, think you got a cut on your arm or a cut anywhere. How would you go about healing it? View your tattoo the same. Use new paper towel to dab it dry. Do not rub it. Do not do anything like that. Gentle pats in order to maintain the integrity of the tattoo and the scab while it's healing. After 2 weeks, everything should be healed, and then it will more or less look more mattified, darker. There may be times where the lines look a bit patchy. That could be during the healing process if something, rubbed against it. Depending on where it is on your body, make sure you wear loose fabric items as well so that it's not rubbing or tight on the skin. And then just continue to do aftercare. It cannot go in the sun either during this time period. It's very sensitive skin at this time. So keep it dry aside from the ointments. Keep it out of the sun and under loose fabrics. So those are my aftercare instructions and my advice to you when healing a tattoo. It takes between 2 to 4 weeks to do so. Do not let people touch your tattoo. Try and not touch it either so there's no bacteria contamination. And then after 4 weeks, your tattoo should be healed enough that you can be just like regular skin. So that's my video. I'll leave some of the links to the artists that I've worked with down below if you are in Canada, either in Montreal or in Vancouver. Thank you all for watching. Please let me know what you think of this video, if you liked it, if you want more tattoo content, and I will leave you all there. So thank you all for watching. Bye, guys.